Hi, good day. This is Saviola from Market Traders Academy. In today's episode, we're going to look at these four topics. That is technical analysis. Okay, in technical analysis, these are the four things that you need to know. That is trend line, support, and resistance. We have to know when the trend is going, and then the support, where serves as a support, where serves as a resistance zone. Okay, all these are zones. Supports, we have the support zone, and then we have the resistance zone. And then how to use the time frames. Okay, we have the 50 minutes, the 50 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour, and then the daily chart, and then as well as the weekly chart. Okay, we're gonna dive into those things. And then how to know the trend of the market. All right, if you are anything that if you want to be a very good market trader or a very good trader, you must know the trend of the market. You must know the direction where the market is going. Without that, then my brother, you just have to forget it. Okay, know the movement, where market is heading to. Is it buying or is it selling? Is it going short or is it going long? All right, and then also know your entry and then your exit. If you don't know your entry and then your exit, then you're gonna blow your account. That is key. If you don't know your entry and then your exit, you're gonna blow your account. And for you to know your exit and then your entry, it all depends on the trend. If you know the trend, if you know that price is moving up, then you shouldn't expect to sell. Rather, you should be expecting for a pullback and then you buy. A pullback, you buy. A pullback, you buy. You expect a higher low and then you buy to a higher high. You expect a higher low, you buy from the higher low to the higher high. And then at the same time, if you know that the trend is a sell trend, then you have to wait. Whatever price is moving up, you don't get in. Okay, whenever price is going up, you don't get in unless you are an advanced trader. Before you can trade these kind of setbacks. Okay, so quickly I'll go to the chart and then we look at how the trend looks like, or how to draw your trend line, support, and then the resistance. All right, so quickly we go to the chart. All right, so this Euro USD, and then you can see it's on daily chart. So what you have to do is now we want to know the direction of this market. Okay, what are the things that you need to know the direction of the market? This is what we're gonna look at. When it comes to support and then the resistance or the trend lines, we have three types of trend. Okay, we have three types of trend lines. They are we have the inner trend line, the outer trend line, and then the future trend line. Okay, you can write them down. You have the inner trend line, the outer trend line, and then the future trend line. Now, assuming price is moving up, you're gonna expect something like this. Let me draw this. Assuming price moves up in this direction. Okay, I can draw this. Oh, come on. Let me use the brush. I can draw this. This what you need to know. The wick of the candlesticks. Okay, let's say this is a candlestick. This is a candlestick. Okay, and then this is a wick, and then also a wick down here. All right, so let's assume this is a wick of a candlestick, and then a wick also here. Let's get this here. Okay, all right, this is a wick of the candlestick, and then also let's take this, also the wick of the candlestick, and then another one here, a wick here, and then another one here too, a wick here. So now, as a trader, for you to know your trend line, or for you to draw your trend line appropriately, you need to take the wicks of the candlesticks into consideration. All right, a lot of traders normally just project their line passing through the candlesticks and then the wicks, which is very wrong. The first thing you have to take into consideration is the first wick here, where you are standing, where you start your projection from, and then the second wick. So you use these 2 wicks to project your trend line. Okay, you don't give a damn about the other ones. What you need is the first 2. Sorry for that. Is the first 2 trend lines. Okay, so I use this and then this one to project my line. All right, so this become my what? Inner trend line. My inner trend line here. I think I have to delete that. It doesn't look well. My inner trend line. Now I can see another trend over here, so I have to use this wick and then this one to project, and this one, since I have this over here, then this becomes my outer trend line, and then this now becomes my inner trend line. All right, this become my outer trend line, and then this become my inner trend line. Then the future trend line can be somewhere here. All right, and then for you to get the future trend line, normally you can get it when you are using the weekly chart or the daily chart. Over there you can get a future trend line. So now this is the rule: if price break my inner trend line, I expect a pullback here to retest and then move down to my my outer trend line. Okay, so over here I can go short from here depending on your signal entry, and then you enter selling to your outer trend line. Then if price break your outer trend line, you expect a pullback, and then you trade, sell down to the future trend line. All right, so now quickly let's go to the chart, and then let's see what is there. All right, so this is a daily chart, and then we want to see or know where price will be moving to. Okay, okay, so as we can see, here it's a zone, and then here it's another zone. I said it that the wicks are very important. Okay, the wicks are very important. Now as you can see, price ranged in this zone, moved sideways, and then finally breaking out. All right, price range up down. So this become your resistance line. The line at the top here becomes your resistance line, and then the one here becomes your support. All right, so as soon as price break your support line, then you expect price to move down. But now here is the case: price is moving what? Downward, upwards, downwards, upwards, downward, but still going down. So we want to know how where will price go when price is moving up? Where will it bounce off. All right, that's what we want to know now. So that's where we have to use the trend line. All right, the trend line. So with the trend line, I have to use the first week here and then the second week here, or probably I can use this one here and then this one here. All right, so this is where price begin was falling, so I use this line, this first week here, and then this one, project it downwards. Okay, so as you can see, I use this over here this week and then this one. Okay, so now let's look at something. After price break, all right, after price break, my trend line, which is my resistance line, price went up, came down to bounce on it here. All right, moved up, came down again, bounced on it over here, and then price went up again, came down, and then retests. Okay, and meanwhile, whilst I was drawing this line, I didn't take this point into consideration, but rather this and that. All right, so quickly let me delete this. Then let me move to 4-hour charts. Okay. All right. So now with 4-hour chart too, let's see this. I'll use this first trend line here, this and this. All right, to project. Okay, so I project using the wick of the candlesticks. All right, so here we go. Sorry, here we go. So now you can decide to copy it, drop it down here, and down here too I use this week. This is my first week, okay, and this is my second one. This is my first upwards week because this is where price begin to fall, and then over here it begins to make the pullback, and then another pullback, the second one, and then another pullback. So this over here is a point, another point here, another retest here. Over here price make a breakout, and you have to know the reason why these breakouts happened here, and then price came up here again, retest, retest, another retest, and then finally price break up upwards, and then made a retest down here, this time to this zone here, to this zone here. We will learn about zone trading very soon, okay, and then we learn about the right way to